Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Product School webinar. Thanks for joining us today. Just in case you didn't know, Product School teaches product management, coding, data analytics, UX design, digital marketing, and product leadership courses online and at our 20 campuses worldwide. On top of that, every week we offer some amazing local product management events and host online webinars, live streams, and Ask Me Anything sessions. Head over to productschool.com after this webinar to check them out. Today, we have an awesome guest presenting. I'd like to introduce you to Adam Wells. Adam is passionate about giving back and inspiring others along their product management journey. Currently, he is a group product manager at Procore Technologies, supporting a team of incredible product managers. Prior to Procore, he worked in a number of product management and customer success roles at Appfolio. Feel free to leave any questions for Adam in the comments of Facebook, and I'll ask him after he finishes his presentation. Without further ado, let's welcome Adam. Adam, thank you for joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. And thank you to the Product School team for sponsoring this talk today. Definitely excited to have a discussion with all of the attendees and get to know everybody a little bit better. So with that, let me go ahead and kick it off on my side. All right, great. Here we go. All right, so today we'll be talking about exploring different market or product opportunities and what goes into that. Really quick, as Dan mentioned, my name is Adam Wells. I'm a group product manager here at Procore Technologies. We focus on delivering solutions for the construction industry. There's also, Dan mentioned, I get to work with some incredible product managers today and help support a team of product managers. All right, so if you've been in product management, there are times that you actually may feel like this boat in the picture where you're kind of sitting on the ocean, trying to see your way through thick fog without a GPS. And in product management is, at times it is going to feel pretty, it's going to feel pretty foggy. It's going to feel like, you are working your way through some fog to listen for signals, to help you find land. And today, what we're going to go over some tools and items that you can use in your product management day to day, whether you're in product management today or you're transitioning into it. We're going to go over some of those tools to help you see through the fog. All right. So with that, you may be asking yourself many different questions in product management, but you may be asking, how do I identify new market opportunities? How do I, what variables can I use and lean on to really help identify market opportunities that will provide value for our customers, for our business? And so today we're going to dive into that question a little bit more. Secondly, you might be asking, okay, so I've identified market opportunities for us to pursue, but how do I communicate those different opportunities? How do I communicate and tell that story to various stakeholders? How do I tell that story back to our customers and the market? And so we'll go over a framework that we use here and dive into a little bit more of that. And then lastly, how do I know which opportunities to pursue first? And so even if you have opportunities identified, you've communicated those opportunities and you've gotten stakeholder feedback, now you're at a point of, okay, where do I actually go from there? Which opportunities are we prioritizing first as a business, as a product group, as a team? So we'll talk about that in a little more detail. One overall story that I really want to hit on here, and just in my experience in product management, has very much been that product management is an art and less of a science. You can take many, and there are many different frameworks out there for good product management. They're all incredible lessons to learn, but there's no framework that you can implement and have guaranteed success on the other side of it as a product manager. And so much of product management is how you navigate customer conversations, how you navigate stakeholder conversations. And everything that goes into that. Product management is about how you navigate customer feedback and try to see the thread between customer feedback to really understand the root cause and the root pain that needs to be solved for your customers, for the industry. So that's one thing that I just want to kind of hit on there is, it is so much of an art and experience and just doing the job that really helps you become a stronger product manager. All right. So today's talk, we're going to be narrowing in on 3 different areas. So identifying new product or market opportunities, communicating those opportunities, and a framework for that that you can use in your day-to-day, but just give you some insight into how we work and how we try to compare different opportunities, apples to apples. And then lastly, we'll be talking about how to prioritize those different opportunities. And there are so many different ways and so many different variables and factors in how you go about prioritizing what work to work on first. And so that can change, company to company, industry to industry. And so what I'm going to highlight today are just a couple of some of the key things that you can think about when you are trying to prioritize different opportunities. So first off, we'll jump into identifying how to identify different market opportunities or problems to pursue that you want to solve for your customers and for the industry. And so the first bullet point that we have up here is very intentional. As product managers and as Procore, the first thing that we focus on is our customers and our prospects. We are in the business of providing value for our end users, for our customers and prospects, and everything really starts there. We definitely don't want to underestimate the importance of having a phone call with customers, doing a video chat, going to your customers, office on site, or bringing them into the office. It's such an important piece of what we do here at Procore. And what I see, across the industry, and it's really want to emphasize this point here that, customers are at the forefront of identifying those new opportunities for the industry, and it plays such a big role. Secondly, to customers and prospects, internal stakeholders. I'll tell a little story here. So before I got into product management, my focus was in customer success, and I was fortunate to work at that time, a smaller company where customer success had pretty good insight into product management and a really strong relationship. So between us, we were together trying to identify market opportunities and how to solve them. And so as I transitioned into product management, I brought that with me, and that emphasis to really stay connected with our customer success teams, with our sales teams, because in so many ways, they are the pulse of the customer for the business, and really understanding what's top of mind for the customers. And so when we talk about trying to identify, problems to solve for our customers and for the industry, really leaning on those customer success and sales teams to help you uncover and identify, what direction you could go in. And then industry news is another one that we absolutely use. And so in my day-to-day, I mentioned that we're in the construction space. And so I'm signed up for different construction articles and blogs, and I'm reading different books and different podcasts. And so being able to stay connected to, the world of construction and everything that's going on there. And then for you and your industry, connecting that way as well is another incredible way to identify different market opportunities. Maybe there's new technology being introduced into the industry that you're in. And so you want to be aware of that and figure out if there's value for your business, and also pursuing different technologies entering the space. And then outside of the industry that you're solving for, adjacent industry. So just the technology industry as a whole. Is there new technology that's coming on the scene that you can introduce into your industry? I'm asking the question, is there new technology out there in the space right now that could be introduced into the construction space? And as some of you may know, construction has been one of the laggards when it comes to adoption of technology. And so we have a lot of opportunity ourselves to bring technology into the construction space. And so that might be something you're thinking about as well for you and your products, your customers, your industry, of, what technologies could we bring in to really help the industry move forward. So those are 3 kind of big ones that we just touched on. Another one that can't go overlooked is just the use of analytics. And so With analytics, you're pairing the quantitative data with a lot of qualitative data that you're getting from customers, that you're getting from interviews with their internal stakeholders and industry news, but also understanding analytics. Maybe it's behavioral analytics, and you're trying to really understand what your users are doing on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis within your product. And also, for us, on any kind of productivity software that's out there, you're really trying to understand how users are performing in a given workflow. How fast are they able to complete a specific task or a specific workflow? And that's where analytics can really give you some insight into your users kind of across the board in different segments. And then those might also surface different opportunities that you can jump on. And then just peers. What I mean here is as a product manager, we emphasize all the roles that we work with so much in terms of engineering and QA and UX. And so we often have our entire team, the entire, all functional roles in conversations with our customers or prospects, in conversations with our internal stakeholders. And those different roles are able to hear that feedback through a different lens. And so if we are gathering feedback with each of those different functional roles, hearing that feedback, and then coming together and trying to come up with the best solution and the best outcome, we are stronger as a team and more and better set up as a team to solve those problems because we have all of those different roles involved in hearing that feedback and empathizing with the problem we need to solve. And so you may have an opportunity, a market opportunity come up from the UX that you work with, engineering that you work with, the QA that you work with, or other different functional roles. And so definitely keep an ear open as you work with your different peers and stakeholders on what opportunities they may be thinking about as well. Excuse me. All right. So once you've gone through some of the activities of identifying different opportunities, now we're diving into how we communicate those opportunities. This is kind of a general framework that we use here, and ones that I'm sure, excuse me, other businesses are using as well. So nothing too this information might not stick out to you as new, essentially. But what we do here is we really want to narrow in and understand the story behind for any market opportunity. Excuse me, for any market opportunity, we really want to understand the problem statement. So the story behind the market opportunity. So what story, what problem, what pain point, what job to be done we can solve for our customers and tell the story around that in such a way that we can tell the story back to our customers, to our executive team, to our different teams, different product teams. And so it really starts with feeling that empathy towards the problem that needs to be solved. And then that transitions into talking about the value to customers. So once again, leading with customers, understanding that what we're doing, we always want to drive customer value. And with that being said, this piece of the communication is really important to communicate and understand that this opportunity will lead to value to our customers. So value that we've directly gotten from our customers, understanding their pain points, understanding what they're looking for us to solve. And so this might be, being able to process a workflow faster. This might be generating more revenue for their business in their space. So identifying, being able to communicate what value we're driving for customers. And then value to business. And so there are so many things that go into a given opportunity and the value that you can bring for your business. That can be, maybe allows you to enter a new market, or maybe it allows you to generate more revenue in an existing market. But being able to have some kind of idea and some thought behind what a market opportunity can do for your business and be able to communicate that is definitely key. Excuse me. Transitioning into the next bullet point here, trying to talk about the target market. So what's the target persona that you're going after? This is also really important. as you're trying to align to the wider objectives of the business. And talking about the target market just gives the reader of the market opportunity, more empathy and understanding for what problem is being solved with this opportunity. So definitely a key part as well in how we talk about our different market opportunities. Level of effort is, this is more of a t-shirt size. So when we look at different opportunities, us in product management are working closely with, as I mentioned, our different functional roles, but this one in particular, working with our developer counterparts to really understand from a t-shirt size and the scope as we know it today, what effort will go into this market opportunity. Is it a month? Is it 6 months? Is it 2 years? Having kind of a rough estimate really helps us as product managers and working with our peers and leadership to try to help prioritize between the different opportunities. And then lastly here, when it comes to communication, this just really identifies that for a given market opportunity, excuse me, that we're starting to think ahead, that we are thinking about, if we pick up this opportunity, what does success look like? What does it look like in terms of when we've completed this project, what are the variables, the qualitative and quantitative data that you're looking for that signifies that you have reached success? Maybe it is a certain analytics or a certain adoption that you're looking for. Maybe it's customer testimonials, but there's some success criteria that you can inject into different market opportunity write-ups to tell the entire story and where you're trying to get to as a successful scenario for that opportunity if it were to be picked up. All right. And so with that, we're actually going to transition into our last section here, going through prioritizing these different market opportunities. So with that, we've already gone through identifying a market opportunity and how you can utilize customer success, sales, your customers, your prospects, industry news. And then we went through kind of a framework that you can use, or maybe you're already using some kind of variation of that information, but a way to communicate with your stakeholders, to communicate back to your customers, to communicate with your product teams, to align on what the story is, what problem we're trying to solve, and focusing on the value to customers and the value to your company, and different criteria to help you really pull the audience in when you're communicating that market opportunity. And this leads us to now prioritization. So with our opportunities, they've been effectively communicated, you've gotten feedback. Now, how do you go through and prioritize these opportunities? As I mentioned, there's a handful of different ways that you can go through and prioritize different opportunities. And these are just some of them that I wanted to point out. And so once again, customer value, that perceived customer value, understanding what this could do for your customer base is at that forefront. How important is this to our customers, to your customers? Are they satisfied with the different solutions that are out there today, or is there a real opportunity to kind of break into that space and provide something that's not out there today? So really focusing and narrowing on that customer value. And then another one here that you may be familiar with are objectives and key results. So OKRs. And OKRs really help a business. And there are articles out there, books around OKRs if you want to learn more. But OKRs allow a business to identify a set of objectives for the business. And this could be over different time spans. This could be objectives for a quarter, for a year, for 5 years. Objectives and key results really help the business align all functional roles, sales, CS, R&D, and others to align around what the objectives are as a business, and then identify key results that help you measure yourself against those objectives. So how are you actually doing over time against those objectives you set out? And so as a product manager, knowing what the objectives are as a business really helps me prioritize my day-to-day and what opportunities to even write up and communicate and try to get feedback on. So that's another really beneficial tool too, objectives and key results. And then we talked about this level of effort. And so you may be looking at two, market opportunities side by side. One of them may, both opportunities may provide the same amount of value, and you may be looking at it just from an effort standpoint. So if they provide the same amount of value, maybe one takes half the time, and you want to pursue that one first, and get value out to customers first, and then prioritize the longer effort one after. Always looking for ways to continue to keep the value stream going for customers. And then dependencies. This is another big one. If you're working in a space and you're working with other teams that you have a lot of dependencies between the teams, it's even more important and crucial for product managers and teams to communicate, to really understand where those dependencies are, where the risks are. And you may have an opportunity that you want to work on. It's going to provide a lot of value and it's low effort, but there's a dependency in which you can't work on that just yet. Maybe another opportunity has to finish up before you can actually pursue that one. So with that one there, definitely understanding different dependencies as you're prioritizing the opportunity. Excuse me. And then the competitive landscape. So there may be something in the competitive landscape that makes you prioritize one opportunity over another. And then lastly here, talking about industry trends. So, for working in the construction space, keeping a close eye on any trends that we see within the industry. And that might help us kind of move the needle on one opportunity versus another, and be an argument for why we pick up one opportunity versus another. So with that being said, we went through identifying opportunities. We went through how we communicate opportunities, some ideas there that you can use, prioritizing different opportunities. And so whether you're just getting into product management, maybe you're not in product management yet, these are some tools that can help you in your day-to-day. And ultimately coming back to this image, excuse me, coming back to this image, if you do feel like at times in product, when you're working your day-to-day, that it's difficult to see through the fog, it's difficult to see where you're headed, and you're just trying to listen for different signals in terms of how to find the right direction, and how to find land. Today, what we went over hopefully helps kind of help you in your day-to-day. It definitely helps me try to see through some of the fog at times, and listen for those signals to ultimately get to land, get to the outcome that we're trying to drive for our customers and for the business. So with that being said, once again, my name is Adam Wells. Happy to connect with you and talk about this topic in more detail. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, /Adam Wells 18. And with that, I want to say thank you. And I think I'm gonna switch it back over to Dan and open it up for any questions that you might have.
Yeah, thank you so much for that presentation, Adam. That was great. So we do have a couple questions here in the Facebook comments, but before we jump into those, we like to ask all of our speakers, what's one piece of advice you would give an aspiring product manager, a wisdom, quote, or something that you'd like to share with someone who wants to break into product?
Yeah, absolutely. So it kind of goes back to one of my points during the presentation, that product management is such an art. There's so much information out there around product management that is exceptional. It's extremely helpful to help you on your path in product management. But so much of product management is, talking with customers, having excuse me, both, positive and difficult conversations, having conversations with different stakeholders, with leadership, with your product management teams. And really that message it's an art. It's something that is built over time. You get more comfortable with product management over time. And so I guess the message there is, if you're just breaking into product management, don't worry if you're not an expert on day one. You will get there. Just keep on moving forward. You're going to be able to see and have different aha moments throughout your career that things just start clicking. And today we went through some tools just kind of help you, tools in your tool belt to help you as a product manager in your journey. But the message there is just, keep on going. It's an art. It builds over time. And it really is just such an incredible role to be in product management.
Awesome. That's great advice. Thank you for sharing. So we have a question here from Luke. He says, hey, Adam, in an industry that typically lacks innovation with the technologies used, do you find a lot of resistance from customers? If so, how do you navigate that? I'll repeat this one for you. In an industry that typically lacks innovation with the technologies used, do you find a lot of resistance from customers? If so, how do you navigate that?
That is an amazing question, and absolutely a challenge. As I mentioned, in the construction industry, this space has been one of the laggards when it comes to adopting technology. And the way that we navigate that is just continuing to demonstrate value to our customers and to the industry. And so, as we demonstrate value in what solutions, web-based, mobile-based solutions, what that can do for the market, it creates a buzz. And so you start to see customers start talking with one another. Hey, what's that? What are you doing to be more productive? What are you doing to help your business? And so it's not something that can be changed, overnight. It's something that just develops, and continuing to share the value of the market, the value of what technology can do for the market, and sharing those stories. That's really a big piece of it. People can absolutely connect to different stories. And if you tell the story around the value that technology will play for these individual businesses, people will listen to those stories and start to think about what that technology can do for their business.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing on that. So I think that about wraps it up. I don't see any questions here on Facebook. So thank you so much for joining us today, Adam. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for everybody that attended today. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate being able to give this talk today. And so thank you to you, Dan, again, and Product School.
No problem. So before we go, I just wanted to give our audience some more information about Product School and our upcoming courses and events, so they have the resources to become a product manager. Our product management, product leadership, coding, data analytics, UX design, and digital marketing courses are taught by industry experts working at companies like Google and Facebook. In addition to that, we offer weekly online and on-site events every Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're located near a campus, make sure you stop by. And you can also find us on social media at Product School, and you can keep up with the latest product management content at the product blog at productschool.com. So thank you all for joining. It was a pleasure meeting you, Adam, and I will see you all later. Have a great day.